This is for the current manifestation. But for error to be destroyed in its ongoing manifestation, it is necessarily, that all adherents who have not willingly surrendered must disappear. It is clear that this takes us far. Indeed, if the means are harsh, they are infallible in disposing of any opposition. In the present century, such ideas cannot but be imports and reminiscences of previous existences. As for the lambs bleating for freedom, this is still an anachronism, a memory of the past. Indeed, once they could only bleat, but today the lambs have become battering rams. They no longer bleat at freedom. They seize it. Let us see, however, if by burning Luther, they would have stopped the movement he instigated. The author doesn't seem quite sure of this, for he says, the world would be saved, at least for a century. A century's time, that's all they would have gained. And why? Here's the reason. If the reformers only expressed their personal ideas, they would reform absolutely nothing, because they would find no echo. A man is only powerless to stir the masses if they are inert and don't feel a single fiber vibrating within themselves. It is worth noting that great social renewals never arrive suddenly. Like volcanic eruptions, they're preceded by precursor symptoms. New ideas germinate. They are effervescent in a number of minds. Society is shaken by a kind of tremor that makes it wait for something. It is at these moments that true reformers emerge, who thus see themselves as representatives not of an individual idea, but of a collective, vague idea, to which the reformer gives a precise and concrete form, and which triumphs only because he finds minds ready to receive it. Such was Luther's position. But Luther was neither the first nor the only promoter of the Reformation. Before him, there were apostles like Wycliffe, editor's note, John Wycliffe, 1330 to 1384, English theologian and precursor of the Reformation. Editor's note, Jan Hus, Czech reformer, 1369 to 1415. Editor's note, Jerome of Prague, 1379 to 1416, was the chief disciple and most devoted friend of Jan Hus, the famous Czech religious reformer. The latter two were burned at the stake by order of the Council of Constance. The Hussites, severely persecuted after a fierce war, were defeated and massacred. They destroyed the men, but not the idea, which was later taken up again in another form and modified in some details by Luther. Calvin, editor's note, Jean Calvin, 1509 to 1564, French Christian theologian. Calvin had a very great influence during the Protestant Reformation. Zwingli, editor's note, Ulrich Zwingli, 1484 to 1531, Swiss reformer, etc., for which it is permissible to conclude that if they had burned Luther, it would have been of no use and would not even have given a century's deadline, because the idea of the Reformation was not only in Luther's head, but in the head of thousands of heads, from which men capable of sustaining it would have had to emerge. It would have been just one more crime, of no benefit to the cause that had provoked it, so much so that, when a current of new ideas sweeps across the world, nothing can stop it. Reading such words, one would say they were written during the fever of religious wars, and not in times when doctrines are judged with the calm of reason.